Boy, my voice sounds horrible. It is Sunday night time for another episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Jason Thrifts.
And I'm his co-host, Debbie Thrifts sometimes too.
And I have a cold. I got a cough drop in. I got a cough. I got sick this weekend. So I apologize in advance for my voice and any cough. Like on cue, any coughs. I've been fighting it for about a week and a half, Deb, and it compounded last night, and it just punched me in the face. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, so sorry. Yeah,
I'm dragging. So, but the show's prepped and ready. We got a great guest. So let's see who is our guest this week. Hello, Chris Green. How the heck are you?
I am doing well. I feel really bad that you have this cough, and like I can talk, right? Like if you need more talking, I definitely can give long answers.
The good thing is I prepped everything on Friday, and then it hit me yesterday. I'm like, oh, thank God I got all my work done.
It feels
but
good.
Here's what's crazy: if you know Chris Green, yeah, Mom wore me out. You should. If you don't know Chris Green, you should. Me and Chris have been friends for a long, long time. He's been in the e-commerce game forever. Written a lot of books. Retail arbitrage was his baby. And after being on eBay since 1999, and hanging out with me for 10 plus years, somehow he just discovered thrifting. I don't know how, but he discovered thrifting, and he discovered a tool that makes it real easy to spot the quality items in any thrift store, in any estate sale, in any garage sale. And he's got a new book coming out next month. So what a perfect time to talk to him. And now normally this is where I'm like, here's the rum and the mug, and I'm just not. I'm drinking water, and that's it, man.
Wow. I have the mug, the cup.
Debbie went to the new tiki bar up in Petaluma that was opened by Mike Richardson, who was the bartender, who you know, Chris, from Frankie's, long dreads.
Yep.
So Mike went up to Petaluma and opened a tiki bar for somebody, and Debbie went last night for her. Hold, please. For her birthday. Yay!
Not just any birthday. This is my Medicare birthday. Yay! Yeah, I am all just saying. And I'm not drinking rum. I'm drinking my unicorn Pepsi that's no caffeine and no sucralose. I love it.
So I would love to be having a rum with Chris tonight, but no.
Smart. Get well.
I'm on water too. I accidentally stopped drinking, like for no good reason. I just hadn't had a drink in forever. And I was going to. I actually got my glass out. I was like, all right, well, I guess we'll have one on the show. But if you're not drinking, Jason, then I don't know. I don't think I'll be the only one.
You know you're sick when a glass of rum is like, ugh.
I had one last night. So
I'm supposed to be making Stacy Mai Tais tonight, but that's not happening. Maybe tomorrow night.
Thank you for all the birthday wishes. You guys are awesome.
Yes, happy birthday, Deb. All right, Chris, sit back, relax, and we're going to talk about what you've discovered in a little bit. All right. Since I haven't seen you guys in a while, we got lots of great stuff. So let's jump right into it so we can get right back to Chris. And now it's time for our scores of the week. These are the items that you should be on the lookout for when you're out thrifting. Funny enough, speaking of Frankie's.
I know. Were you surprised?
Yeah. I was like, dang, look at the money you got for that.
I know. I actually took an offer of, I think, $375.
So amazing.
I watched a show because the highest I saw was $250. And I watched this show recently where he said, try higher, try for more. And I thought, if it doesn't sell, I'll keep it at that price. And then boom, right away. And I went to Ohio.
Set a new ceiling is what I taught in the Secret Beach.
I know.
You can't get more money unless you ask for more money. Good job, Deb. Well done.
And then soap. I found these. I never shop those bags at the thrift store because it's like too time consuming, but they had all this soap. When I looked at the prices, I was like, what? I thought I would get more, but I got 24 and I was happy with that. 2 bars of soap. I cleaned up. Uh-oh. Okay. Can I hear you, Jason?
Sorry. I said, what is this? I looked at it. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
It's some kind of hair curler thing. Bill found it for like $6. I'm like, okay, let's take it. And we finally sold it. It took a little while.
And you had 2 of them?
No. What the heck? I don't know how that happened.
Oh, you better end that because you still got, well, it's weird. It says out of stock and it says.
I sold 2. Well, that's weird. Well, Oh yeah, I asked Bill. I thought it sold once and it came back, but I guess not. Or they canceled. Maybe they canceled before we shipped it. Oh,
Crazy.
eBay's got all kinds of glitches lately. So okay, and this is what I love finding these little masks, but not when they hang around for like 3 years. So I finally accepted an offer of $18, and off he went.
Boy, how much grief do you get in grade school when your last name is Laycock? Holy cow. All right, so I think this was on last Thrifty Business where it was a dud because one of my assistants wrote Videochrome instead of Videodrome, and now it's in the scores because it sold. Now that the right title is actually on there. So this is from that big lot of 7,000 videotapes I bought. Ended up spending about 10 cents a piece. So this one sold for $34.
Nice.
Now, this is kind of out of season. I have something better for out of season, but a Sherpa lined vintage denim jacket. It's almost June. It's actually even stopped snowing in Cleveland. So who the hell needs a heavy vintage denim coat? But it doesn't matter. Vintage Sears Roebuck. You know, if it was Levi's, you would got more money, but $50. I paid $10 for it. And I always love any of these Sherpa lined coats. Make sure you show the lining real well, and if you got a mannequin with arms, give it some life.
But remember, movie props are shopping eBay too, because we've all sold something to a movie house once or twice. I've sold twice.
All right, this is the most boring Tommy Bahama shirt I've ever sold. However, it was new with tags, so that's why I picked it up. It was at an estate sale for $2, and had this been used at Savers, I wouldn't have picked it up. It's just Birds of Paradise, kind of abstract, and it's very boring and muted. But it wasn't up long. March 23rd, so 2 months. And I just got feedback on it, and there was a little speck of something on the back of the shirt, and we mentioned that, new with defects, and I got positive feedback already. So
I know I see some like this. I'm like, how do you even describe it? But when it has the tag, it helps.
And you're not the only one that can sell kick-ass tiki mugs. This was from one of our favorite tiki bars, Ventiki in Ventura, California. And this, my buddy designed this mug. And with these tusks, I'm like, dude, that's a ballsy make.
Ew,
that's a ballsy make to ship that, get them here from China, then get them to the bar. That is an easy thing to break. And so this was one hell of a mold, and it was awesome. So they were at the bar for $125. So I buy them and I sell them for about $100 over retail price.
Did that come packed in its own shaped styrofoam? So
it did, because there's only one way. There's only one way to do that because of it's so easily breakable.
Yeah.
The second I sat down and picked it up, I texted him from the bar. Go, that was ballsy, dude. Well done. Well done. And now it's time for our CD and cassette scores of the week. And as always, we start with flipping cassettes. All right, I actually got 3 fun ones to share this week. This is a Judas Priest, still sealed. Probably came out in the early 80s. So this is sat someplace for 40 plus years. It's just waiting to be sold. Now, I did have it on Amazon, and no one bothered to look at it for Debbie 2 years on Amazon. Yay. And it was on eBay since February, so 3 months. And it sold for $22. I got it out of the collection for $0.25 a piece.
Nice.
Now, this Prince one was at a record store. It was sealed also. They charged $10. I didn't mind spending $10 because I knew I could sell it for $35. So that was a nice, quick, easy flip. And then lastly, Deb, I'm cleaning the office the other day because it got away from me when I couldn't walk anymore. And I found a Case Logic carrying case of cassettes, and it was full. And I go, boy, I don't even have recollection of buying this.
Oh my
God. It was all hip hop and R&B. And I know wherever I bought it, I didn't pay much. Well, boom, this is one of the cassettes that's been just sitting there waiting to get listed. $50, Master P, Ghetto D. This record came out when I lived in Ohio back in the late 90s. And so I maybe paid $1, probably 50 cents for this cassette, and sold for $50.
I told you those profit piles, they grow. They get money.
I went to pick it up thinking it was empty. I go, oh shit, that's heavy. Oh, look at all this rap in here. This is awesome.
That's what I always look for on cassettes, rap and hip hop.
And there's prime example, $50, maybe listed for 3 weeks. Oops, probably helps get rid of that. Okay, so I wanted to share this record because look how just effed the cover is. It's a hot mess. Like, it's all tore there. There's stains. Something was stuck there that was peeled off. And the vinyl wasn't in the greatest condition either, but I was very open and honest about both conditions. And I got $30 for it. So
Yes.
don't think you can't buy something that's less than mint. You just got to be honest. And this is a rare piece, not easy to find. Wish I had it in better condition. Obviously, I would have got $50, $60, $70, but I'll still take $31 for just above poor condition.
For sure.
Ooh, excuse me. Sorry, everybody. And now we go from flipping cassettes to flipping CDs. All right, Deb, ever heard of this movie, Satisfaction? It was a Justine Bateman lead actress movie. So if you don't know who Justine Bateman is, she was the older sister on Family Ties.
Okay, yeah.
With Michael J. Fox. And if you look next to Justine Bateman, this unknown actress named Julia Roberts is one of her first movies.
Oh my God.
And at some point, this movie got changed from Satisfaction to, I think, Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Okay.
So they're a rock band, and this is the soundtrack. Been out of print forever. So I paid $1 and I sold it for $54. Now, anyone in the chat remember seeing this movie? Yep, she was Mallory.
No.
Let me know if you saw it. Now, speaking of movies, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Amoeba was nice enough to tell me it was out of print and only charged me $25, which I happily paid, and then sold it for $60 on Amazon.
Nice.
Guar, it's a band of characters who all dress in these monster outfits, and they've been around for 30 plus years. This record store, and I don't remember which one it was, based on the sticker, very generic. They were selling this new release kind of thing, not realizing it's now out of print. So I gave them $18 and I happily sold it for $60.
Nice. Yes, we all need to get more into CDs.
Yeah, people have not heard of it, never saw it. Satisfaction is a very little known movie, but the soundtrack has always been big money. All right. How about Olivia Newton-John? I had a coupon, so it was $1.60 at Savers, and I sold it for $80 on Discogs.
Wow.
Now, this is one of those this is the gift that keeps on giving. This one CD is also going to give us our where in the world, our shipping tip, our thrifting tip, and our selling tip. So you're going to see that a lot coming up here very soon.
So John says that's a different movie. Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
All right. While Debbie's talking, I'll look it up. I know Satisfaction changed their name, so let me look it up real quick. But
yeah, we gotta get our pop culture.
And now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours. Oh, it was Girls of Summer. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know that one either. So now I have to watch them.
Yeah, Liam Neeson's in it too. Oh, and it was Julia Roberts' first movie.
That's just crazy because she's been around forever, so we never think about her first movie. It's just a given, and her daughter looks so much like
and Aaron Spelling did it of Dynasty fame.
Nice.
All right, why is this a dud? I love this little guy.
I know he won't sell. He's been listed for 2 years. I quit picking these things up because I'm like, it's just not selling. I don't know what I'm missing. I don't know, but he's been hanging around for. I know when I get off the show, I'm going to go pick him up and hug him and love him and set him down, and then he will sell because that's how you do it. Yeah, I don't know. He's cute, but nobody wants him. And this hat.
I think you had this hat on before, maybe twice.
I probably have. Please go away.
I love the plaid on his hat.
I know. I thought it would be a good sell. Bill picked this up. There's a Goodwill up at Lake Coffee. We always like to hit. And I think he paid $7 for it. And then we looked at it and we're like, oh. So it's hanging around. If anybody needs the hat, maybe you could pull off the Slurpee part of it. I don't know.
All right. So here's my duds. Okay, cool. All right. So apparently I have a female employee. I'm not sure which one, but they've all been female in the recent past, who doesn't know how to read shoe sizes on female shoes.
Uh-oh.
Things I would think I wouldn't have to teach. So if you look at this, obviously it's a 9 medium upside down. She took it, whoever, as women's 6.
Oh, well.
But
okay.
also, whoever wrote this, she has feet. She knows 6s and 9. Like, she should realize this ain't a 6. So the customer got it and goes, this ain't a 6.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm paying for that to come back.
And you can't really squeeze your feet into a shoe size that's not right. So
unbelievable. And then this was it's a popcorn bucket from California Adventure, and I had 2. I sold their one for quite a bit of more money. However, I didn't notice till I had actually shipped it to a customer. The side mirrors are missing. Thanks, Disney. Didn't notice when I bought it because one of them had the side mirrors. And then when we took the original pictures, we shipped out the other one, not realizing the side mirrors were missing. So this has been just a dud all the way around.
No, it could be an error, and errors can be worth lots of money.
Yeah, no, it's just, there's the holes. It's just missing the side mirrors. Whoops.
Oh, no.
Whoops.
Can't drive without them.
And now it's time for Where in the World Did Our Stuff Go? If you are not shipping internationally, you are leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers.
Okay, this went to Bridge End, UK. I was trying to see if I spelled that right. I think I spelled that wrong. I was tired last night. I forgot. But anyway, I'm kind of in the doghouse too because I only sold the shirt for $20. You know how you set automatic? I know. Well, I checked solds and they didn't seem like that high. And then I did the auto accept. And my husband's like, "You sold this shirt for how much?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, I goofed."
Yeah, but Route 66 shirt from Disney heading to the UK.
Yeah, I love Stacy's idea. It'll sell on 7-Eleven.
All right, so let's revisit Olivia Newton-John because nothing tickles my fancy more than when things go back home. If you don't know, Olivia Newton-John is Australian, and Yanchep is just north of Perth in Australia. So that went back home to Australia and a little town north of Perth. So, and what excites me about this, actually, I'll talk about that in the thrifting segment. So hold please, let's get right to that while I choke a little bit. Hold please. Oh yeah, we got shipping next. And now it's time for You Have Got to Be Shipping Me, what to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping.
Okay, I can't read that, it's too small. But anyway, I just heard this, that if you don't avoid, well, I think I've known it because I've avoided shipping labels before, but these are your directions to avoid a shipping label. If you goof, and like sometimes I'm like, oh, I should
take a screenshot.
What's that? Yeah.
Watch and take a screenshot.
Or yeah, with your phone. But sometimes you do have to avoid what not, but if you don't do it in time, you lose your money. So you have to do it. Someone said within 5 days. Just do it right away.
Yeah, it's definitely a quick window. You can't be like 3 months later, like, oh, I meant to avoid that label. That just doesn't work that way.
No. So do it quickly. Just do it right then when you realize, oops, I made a mistake. And there's your directions to do it. Just do it.
Oh, all right. And mine is, hey, look what's back. Let's talk about shipping Olivia Newton-John. So this is and of course I don't have the Olivia Newton-John one. But this was in a cardboard sleeve like this. Okay. So you definitely want it to be protected. You can still use your regular CD mailer, which is 8x8. And what you need to do, especially since it's going international, you need to cut a chunk off of a brown box, but make sure it's thick cardboard. If you think about the thinness of the Priority shoebox, that's a very thin cardboard box.
Yes.
But this is nice and thick. Let me get rid of this for a sec here. And so all you do is make it just a little bit bigger than the CD. And now this is solid. Just slide it right in. Can't bend it. That's all you need. You just need a piece of scrap cardboard to go around your cardboard sleeve.
And I like to put things like that in a Ziploc bag because, I lived in Tacoma for 27 years with rain 36 all the time. Ziploc bag in case it gets wet because that's cardboard. The sleeves, there's no plastic on it to protect it. So anyway.
Yep. Oh. All right. Now you're going to see Olivia come up yet again.
Yay.
And now it's time for the Thrifty Tips of the Week. Little tips and tricks to help you out when you're outsourcing. Oh, whoops.
Okay. When we were in Petaluma yesterday and we were walking around waiting for our Kapu reservation, and there were 3 thrift stores. Well, 2 of them are actually connected, but they had 50% off the entire store.
Woo!
That was so fun. And I thought, I wonder if that's because it's a 3-day weekend and they're actually closed tomorrow at those 2. There's one's clothing and one's everything else. So plan ahead, ask, your favorite thrift stores, are you going to be having, the next time we have a 3-day weekend like this, are you going to be having a special sale? That way you can plan ahead, because we just stumbled on this. We weren't prepared for that, but boy, was it fun.
We were not prepared for a sale.
Yeah. So ask them, are you going to have a sale? They may or may not know, but at least you can kind of plan and know ahead of time.
Yeah. I was in a store going out of business yesterday, and I said, hey, when's the end? So I know when to really swoop in and get the deal. So always ask, hey, look what's back, Olivia. Now, to get back to the size of this, if you put it amongst regular CDs, when I say regular, I mean in actual normal jewel cases, on a row on the end cap and savers, you might not notice it. And so the only way to find the thin things is to flip.
Hey, we're going to be talking about flipping later too.
Yeah, it's right there. So you got to flip, because you won't see thin things. You won't see autographed things. So you can't just read the spine. You got to do the flip. Trademark Chris Green. Don't try and not pay your royalties to me, pal. Yeah. So Olivia was in the savers down by the mall by me. And this is from when she had a residency in Vegas. So I've got a better chance than not to find it over and over and over in this town. Now, of course, people leave, they take it home. But locals go too, especially when things don't fill up on these not A-level shows. You get free tickets. We saw free David Blaine the other day. So people can get the CD, they bring it home, they're like, yeah. And then next thing you know, it's at savers. So once you know something well, lock in and keep it there and keep going. That's kind of what Chris is going to talk about too. Is once you figured out that this ice bucket is worth a lot of money, your radar is always up for that ice bucket from now on.
Yep.
Oh, I'm full of snot. This is so much fun. And now it's time for our online selling tips of the week. It doesn't matter if you're selling on Etsy, Depop, Mercari, Poshmark, or eBay. These are little tips and tricks to help you when you're selling. Why? I had no idea, Deb. I know. No idea.
I just heard this the other day at one of the groups, or I don't know where I heard it. I try to pick up tips for the show. Do not send out offers while you're on time away, because it like resets your time away or messes it up and negates it. And then you're selling stuff, but you're not home to ship it. So, So don't just walk away, enjoy your time. Don't touch your time away. Don't touch your.
Good to know. I don't ever have to put out my time away, but I would have never even thought about that.
And we do hear a lot of things, and then somebody will challenge us and say, that's not true. I don't know. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm going to believe this, because if I'm gone, I don't want to mess up my shipping statistics or data, whatever it's called.
Heck no. Hey, look what's back, Olivia. But here's the problem. That ain't the name of the CD. So it was listed on Amazon for 2.5 years. The CD is called Summer Nights Live in Las Vegas. Where does it say that anywhere? It doesn't. So if anyone searches that, thanks, Amazon. They'll never get here, because that's not the title. So it's had for 2.5 years and never sold. Guess what? Moved into Discogs, where it is labeled properly. Sold in like 2 days. There's none for sale right now. And look who owns the highest sold. Me. You know why? Because I asked for it.
That's right.
No one else had it. I asked for it. It sold quickly.
Now, Chris would know more about this than I do, but I think you might have been able to challenge that title with Amazon and say,
I'm way too lazy to do that. I moved it to another platform.
Yeah. And got
Chris backstage just went like this.
Let the others do it.
Yeah, I moved it over, sold in like 2 days, 2.5 years on Amazon, 2 days on Discogs, $1.60 into $80. Boom. Just like that.
Discogs.
And now it's time for Unseasonably Sold. What did you sell out of season? All right. Well, it isn't Olivia Newton-John this time, but it is another cassette, because the Santa Claus with Tim Allen, soundtracks on cassettes don't sell too well. And Christmas music on cassette doesn't sell too well. So soundtrack of Christmas, I had it up before Christmas on 3 platforms at the same time. When did it sell? The week before Memorial Day. Of course.
Makes sense.
Course. So that's why we tell you, oops, I didn't change my banner. That's why we tell you to always have your stuff, holiday stuff listed all year. You never know when the week of Memorial Day, someone's going to be like, I need Christmas music on cassette right now.
That's right.
No, not a big sale. I paid $3, $4, whatever, but it's gone. I won't ever buy it again, because it just didn't go fast. Didn't go for enough money either.
Yeah.
All right, one more segment, and then we'll get Chris in here.
Yay.
Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're angry, and sometimes they're just plain weird. Now it's time for the feedback of the week.
Probably the best shirt I've ordered on here.
It's sweet and to the point. I love it.
I know somebody gave us that shirt. It wasn't too long. So, somebody asked me if I had more of them. I'm like, no, just this one.
All right, I haven't had a funny one in quite a while, and I finally got one. So I sold a CD that in this form of the CD, it came with a bonus track that like the record didn't have other release of the CD. And so here's his feedback. Luckily, he gave me a positive. What kind of bonus track was that? It didn't even sound like them. Throwaway for sure, but the album is still fantastic. I only bought this for the bonus track, Caveat Emptor. And like I'm sure you could have found that bonus track to listen to it somewhere online before you bought it. But he bought it, and he didn't punish me because he didn't like the bonus track. So
Right. And he didn't pay that much for it either.
no, he didn't. But I just thought that was funny that he voices his pleasure of their bonus track.
Is that why it wasn't on the main CD?
Yeah. All right, so we got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. Secret Beach, we got 2 coming up this week, Tuesday and Wednesday. So Tuesday is Typhoon Becky Dick. She's back talking more about jewelry. Becky's like me with CDs. She travels all over the place, and it's worth it for her to travel because she'll come home with suitcases packed with jewels, and it's costume jewelry. She's not coming back with a 20-karat sapphire or diamond. Like with me, my suitcases always come back full of music. Same deal, but she's making her a good portion of her money on not $100, $200 items, but just the $20 item over and over and over. So
Nice.
5 items is $100. And so she's going to talk to us about her bread and butter items on Tuesday. And then something near and dear to Chris's heart, retail arbitrage. Sadly, Bed Bath & Beyond is going out of business. That's sad for them. Good for us because there's going to be deals to be had. And I've been there a couple times in the past month. And so I'm up to date on where they're at with their merchandise, what's happening, where the sales at. And so if you've never picked a business going out of business, you're gonna learn how to do it on Wednesday's show. And I've done it for plenty of businesses. I've done it for casinos here. I've done it for record stores. I'm pretty good at picking a business, especially one that's not too far from me, so I can go to it over and over and over and over. All right, so we're gonna talk about that on Wednesday. And then we actually have the rare, maybe the only ever 2-parter of Selling Past Their Expiration Date being Thrifty over 50. Mom has sent all her big stuff to an auction house near her. And so next Sunday, we're going to have pictures and video of them taking it away and how they set it up and get ready for auction. And one of the girls who works at the auction company is going to be on to answer questions about how you get your stuff set up for auction. So that's Sunday. And then Thursday night, we're going to reconvene at the same time, 7 o'clock East Coast, 4 o'clock West Coast. And we're going to watch Mom's auction end, and we'll see what gets bids. So it's going to be fun. We'll see the setup, and then we'll reconvene 4 days later for the ending of the auction.
I'm so sad. I think our Bed Bath & Beyond is done. We drove by it the other day, and it's all dark, and there's no signs, nothing. I think we missed it.
You only Jesus. You only have one near you?
Well, that's the closest. I haven't.
Okay.
The others.
But tune in on Wednesday. Plus, it doesn't just go for Bed Bath & Beyond. Any business going out of business, because that happens pretty much all the time.
Yes.
Here's what you should be doing to get the best deals. The best retail arbitrage. Speaking of, let's get our guest in here.
Yay.
And now it's time for the Thrifty Business special guest of the week.
Ding dong, it's Chris Green. Woo!
Hey, Chris.
It's me. I'm back.
Hey, buddy.
Can I start off by saying something really important?
Of
A
course.
million thanks to Chris Green for all of us who are on merch by Amazon because of Chris teaching us. Yay!
Merch is fun. It's different than flipping, but it's fun, and I don't know. I've kind of become that guy that's like, oh, we can talk about self-publishing or print on demand or merch or flipping or eBay or Amazon or FBA, because they're all kind of fun. They're all kind of, I don't know, things that I just find interesting. When I find something interesting, I like to share it with people. I think a lot of people like to do that. I mean, clearly you guys do as well. So there's a lot of opportunity out there depending what you want to do.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and one thing that you let's start. For those who don't know you started on eBay in 1999, and for a long time you had more feedback than me, and you'd give me grief all the time.
I can't anymore. Like I was gonna keep my mouth shut, but you brought it up.
Yeah, I know. And
you hit that 20,000. I'm jealous.
You sold on eBay, you sold on Amazon, obviously. And then you kind of decided to teach people about retail arbitrage, which is a term you coined.
Yes.
About buying stuff retail and then selling it online for more money. And, you know, it's kind of what me and Debbie showed today with our tiki mugs. We were sitting at a bar. We paid full retail for the mugs at the bar. And then Debbie made a couple $100 and I made $100 on a product that's just there. Now, sometimes with the mugs, you can only get them at the bar, but like with the Frankie's mugs, they have a store online. People can buy them there.
Mhm.
Nope, they buy them for me.
Yep. You pack better.
You provide exceptional customer service. You take
Yep.
videos with a little spinny backdrop. Like
Yep.
there's things that go into this, you know, and it's, you know, people buy for different reasons. They buy from different sites. You know, people, I've learned this not the hard way, but it took me longer to learn this than it probably really should have. But price is not the number one thing that people use to make a buying decision. It can be the number one, and it is probably the number one for a lot of people, but it's not the number one for everybody. And once you figure that out, you're like, yeah, they want to have, you know, confidence in return policy. They're connected to the seller or the retailer for some other reason. They just really like them. But who knows? It doesn't matter. But if you only compete on price, it's just a difficult game to play. Like you're always just undercutting. You're always seeing who's willing to make the least amount of money in order to make the sale. And that's not a game that is terribly fun to play. So I think people should play a different game.
Debbie, I had the pleasure of walking ASD with Chris. If you don't know what ASD is, it's the wholesale show here in town. Happens twice a year, mainly for sellers who sell on Amazon stuff. They can go see all these thousands of companies. And of course, you order products wholesale, you get your wholesale price, and then you go and sell them on Amazon, eBay, wherever, at a retail price. And walking with Chris, I learned I don't ever want to do that because that isn't fun to me. As Chris said, depending on what you like, thrifting's fun, arbitrage is fun, merch is fun for you, Deb. And so this is prior to it being legal in a lot of places, but we get back to the bong area for water bongs, and Chris goes, "Hey, we're on the verge of it being legal in a lot of places and eventually everywhere. Where's your $3,000 bong?" And he said that over and over and over, and every vendor laughed at him. And Chris said, millionaires don't want to buy the same bong as you and me.
Exactly.
It does the exact same thing, but they want to spend $3,000 on a bong. And they all laughed at Chris. And at that moment, I'm like, they're dumb. They are missing out on their market. It isn't about price.
Yeah, he's like E.F. Hutton. When Chris speaks, I listen every single time.
I'm flattered. Keep in mind, I'm not always right. You can be right. You can be wrong. You can be early.
Is your wife Jen nearby?
No. But I talked about timing on a different podcast a little while ago, where you can be too early to a market. You can also be too late to a market, and you can time it. Like there are things that could, you're in the right place at the right time, or you're just too early. You have the right idea, the right product, the right price, but you're too early. Or sometimes you're too late. And you have to kind of pay attention to those things because you might be entering a market that's already too mature, or the price has already come down to a level where you can't compete, or you're too early, where you're like, hey, you're talking about NFTs and crypto like way earlier than was even profitable, or the opportunity was there. So I think people should look back at some of those things and just understand it. And like the marijuana legalization is very obvious now. Like clearly it's going to be more accepted. Clearly it's going to be as accessible as alcohol. I think psychedelics are eventually going to be that way. Right? It's probably 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
But think about that. You're right. So here's we had all the products coming up with edibles and smoking, and now with psychedelics. What's the best container to keep your, so that's where you could be on the cutting edge, where you're going, where's the $3,000 magic mushroom holder?
Right. I'm a great example.
I'm encrusted Kim Kardashian magic mushroom holder.
Rich people want to flex, so you have to give them something to flex. Rich people don't want to smoke out of some $20, whatever. Like, no, they want something premium. But I think I'm a great example, and I think people forget that there's a lot of people like me. I'm 45 years old. I was scared to death of all drugs growing up. Like the marketing that was put out to me was, don't look at marijuana or else you're going to smoke crack. It's a gateway drug. I bought into all of it. You know, I don't want to say that I was wrong back then, but you know, I didn't have access to full information. 45 means I grew up without the internet. I didn't have access to more information to learn about. Oh, wait a minute, marijuana is actually not that bad. Like there are risks and there's things you should be consider before you partake if that's something you want to do. But I am of the age of like, now that it's legal, I'm interested and I am uneducated. I don't know X, Y, Z. I don't know any of this stuff. And I want to get good answers. I want to get good information. I want to, if I am going to take something, I want to know where it's coming from. I want to understand all these things. And that's a huge market for people who might think, how does someone not know how to smoke a joint? Like, trust me, there are a lot of people out there who don't know. Like,
you never smoked it
right?
Apple core?
No.
I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
Cocaine?
I did all the drugs in high school. At least I never shot up or anything. And now seeing what people are going through now with fentanyl, thank God I did all that stuff when I was 16.
Let's not talk about the illegal, illicit narcotics.
You went down a dark path.
Recreational.
Well, he's talking about psychedelics. What is it? Acid? Isn't
psychedelics?
Well,
I'm saying in a medicinal, like controlled, not abuse, but if someone says, look, I understand the risks, I understand the potential rewards, I've talked to my doctor, I think that this might really help with PTSD, like those types of people I think should have access to legal.
Yes.
Well,
and once it becomes legal,
Chris's drug hour.
If it's legal, there's going to be a market for it.
Yeah.
And you can sell the accessories, you can sell the information. If you're experienced in psychedelics, I think you should be, especially right now, focused on writing some kind of how-to book for people who are interested. Maybe they have PTSD from military or something like that, where like, yes, it might really help them. And you say, look, I'm an expert, I've done this, and you self-publish on Amazon. You use that to build up credibility in an email list. Like, these are all the things that, I find interesting. That we're supposed to be talking about flips, but all of these things are interesting because you can share something that you're passionate, interested, and you can use the internet to get products out there and information and marketing and help people. And holy smokes, all of a sudden you're selling books and making money, helping people around something that you're really interested in. Like, that's the dream business, and you can do that around flipping and eBay and Amazon and FBA. You can do around all of these different things. And that's the big opportunity that's out there. And
what I like about that, Chris, too, is you are helping people not get from the wrong people. Because there are the wrong people out there selling this stuff. So when you are educated, you take someone takes the time to get themselves fully educated, then they can help people be safe.
Exactly.
That's what I so agree with.
And we're talking about the flips in a second here, but Chris has worn many hats, over the years, teaching people about merch, which is t-shirts on demand, about retail arbitrage, about flipping. But we all can learn anything. I've taught people about CDs and records. But you can't just go, tell me everything I need to know, I'm going tomorrow. Right. It just doesn't work that way. Someone in the thrifting board on Friday said, I'm going to a estate sale tomorrow. They have 1,000 records. What should I look for? It doesn't work like that.
I love that question, though. We could unpack that.
Yeah, it just doesn't work like that. Like, I can give you like a couple of my suggestions, but maybe you're going to sit down in front of 1,000 pieces of classical music, if it's an old person's collection, or 1,000 Mitch Miller sing-along, just crap. You don't know. It's rarely going to be Pink Floyd and Metallica on vinyl. It's rarely going to be that. It does happen sometimes.
It happens, yeah.
But if you can give me a picture or description, I can at least. But you can't just say, "Okay, I got 1,000 records. What should I look for?" Because there's going to be 100 other people fighting you for that corner. So yeah, it just.
I have an idea. They buy your courses on albums and CDs.
There you go.
And learn.
So to put a finishing point on the people will pay for anything crazy. Frankie's Tiki Bar, 24 hours a day, never closes. You want a tiki mug at 8 a.m., 2 p.m., 3 a.m., you can go up there and you can get it for half of what I sell for on eBay, and it comes with a cocktail. And guess what? I sell those mugs to people in Vegas. So besides your customer willing to pay, they're not always that educated too.
I know why. Some people don't want to be seen going into the tiki bar, maybe.
Could be.
There's all kinds of reasons, and you may never know what they are.
Yeah, or
the point is, don't worry about it. Yeah.
No, just do it and sell it as long as it works for you.
If customer's happy,
yes,
go for it.
All right, so Chris, you and I have been thrifting for over 10 years together, and it's like you just discovered it 3 months ago. I mean, I should have had them ready. I have so many pictures of us over the years, like having lightsaber battles, and who's got the biggest mask on. And then you're like, hey, Jay, look at all this cool stuff I can find out in the field and thrifting and flip it. I go, what? Like, what? What? Hey, I learned how to walk yesterday. What? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So how'd you get to this point, and what made you want to write a book about it?
Well, I kind of got back into it, and Google Lens is one of my favorite apps of all time. And it's been around for a while, and I kind of put it in the back of my mind and forgot to like, oh wait, these apps, especially these types of apps, get better over time. Because Amazon used to have an app called A9. It was like this separate search app, and it had these little blue dots, and it would search like book covers. So if it didn't have a barcode, you could scan it with this app. And Amazon eventually integrated into the just the Amazon app. So image recognition has been out there for a long time. And I haven't tested them all. I know eBay has image recognition, Amazon has it. I can't imagine they can actually compete with Google, because Google's just got this, they've just been doing it for so long. And I just get constantly impressed when you use Google or Google Lens to take a picture of something, they tell you exactly what it is. And then he's like, oh, well, I can look that up on eBay and I can see what it's worth. And it was really last summer where I was like, I'm gonna start going to some yard sales. Of course, I'm up in the Northeast, so yard sales is basically only a summer thing around here.
Yeah. No garage sales in the snow.
And I think part of it is like my kids got to an age, like, David's at an age where, it really matters what shoes he's wearing, right? It's got to be Jordans and LeBrons and like, these special editions and Kobe this and all that. And come on, man, I ain't paying no full retail. Like, it's just not happening, right? Especially when like, hey, here's some vintage, Jordan 5s, right? Here's some Kobe 5 rings. Here's something, and you can pick them up, and you get picked up in great condition. And I'm just not the kind of guy that buys retail and then wears them and takes value off of them. Like, I just can't do it, right? Like, if I don't wear these Jordans, they'll be worth $1,000 in 3 years. If I do wear them, they're gonna go to. I just can't do it, right? So I'm looking at Jordan. I've now got nieces and nephews for getting back into toys. So to me, the flip isn't just about eBay. I love the fact that you can always sell it on eBay for a profit. But now that I've got nieces and nephews that are kids again, I'm like, oh, look at this Little People collection. Are you kidding me? There's 125 Little People in this giant Ziploc bag, and I can get it all for $4. I'm going to be the coolest uncle you've ever seen. And then a few years from now, they're 5, 3, and almost 2. So
which one got this?
I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that.
The 2-year-old.
I need to like list it and sell it. You can see from those pictures, I keep buying these giant things, which I think is part of the reason like that stuff's there, because a lot of people pass over it. That's right. Like your mom is one who's like, I know inspires hundreds, if not thousands of eBayers to buy and ship big things, because most people don't do it. But I mean, eBay will give, or the post office give you those long boxes, those little 48-inch boxes. You can put baseball bats and all those things. That Nerf bat I found again just this week. I rarely laugh out loud, but I laughed out loud in the Goodwill as I kind of walked to the toy, and there's another one sitting there. And like I laughed out loud to myself. I'm like, how do I find another one? I don't know exactly why it's valuable, but it's an orange Nerf softball bat. They used to make them. They sell for $60, $75, up to $100 on eBay. Yeah. Every yard sale you go to, every saver, every time you go like the place with the kids section, check for this orange Nerf bat. It has to be Nerf. If it wasn't Nerf, I never would have looked up the first one. But I looked at it, I was like, are you kidding me? But I looked it up because I hadn't seen it before. I've seen yellow wiffle ball bats. I'd never seen this orange, specifically Nerf. So it has to be branded, right? So I look it up. I'm like, wow, like sold, like for real, not just like one sold or like there's 100 list. Like no, they actually sell. And I post pictures of them, and then people send me messages like, I found one at a yard sale for 25 cents each. I found 2 at a different sale for 50 cents. They're out there. I promise they're out there. And I hope more people, just by watching this, it's in the picture that Jason just shared. Look for this orange bat. It's easy to find. And everybody that has a yard sale puts that up for 50 cents. Like it's nothing, right? But they don't make it anymore. And there's probably some adult or adult, as my kids say, is how you're supposed to say it. Softball leagues that use this specific bat, and the only place you can get it is by finding a used one on eBay. They don't make it anymore. But everything that you see, like, yes, I walk in and find it, and I don't know why other people don't find it. I think a lot of it is if you don't know, or if you don't go, you won't know. Yeah. Like, so go and look around and use Google Lens, which, for Pete's sakes, the number of eBayers that I talk to who still have not heard of Google Lens, especially Android users, all you Android users out there, it's in your phone, like 4 different places. It's in the Photos app. It's in the Cameras app. It's in the Google app. It's probably on your home screen already. It's already there. Now, the iPhone users, I think, they have an excuse. They're like, I looked for Google Lens in the App Store and I couldn't find it. There is not a Google Lens app in the App Store. It's built into the Google app in the App Store. So
it
download
used to
the
be
Google
a separate app, though. It used to be, and then it just kind of went away into just the Google app.
hopefully this will show up. It's that little camera thing right up here in the corner,
Yep,
right
there.
here.
Oh,
And that
really?
will open the Google app. But this is the Google app, not just google.com in Safari. Right? You have to actually get the Google app. And
I
I don't
find it when I take the picture and down in the bottom left corner where you would like text, I scroll that up and it's down there. That's how I find mine.
And let's see how much Chris is worth.
should we do one live right here? See if I can press the right button.
Are you on iPhone or Android?
Oh, this is iPhone.
It's iPhone. Okay. I didn't know there was a thing at the top. I gotta see.
There it is. Look how quick that was. Boom.
I mean, that's insanely
That's
quick.
the zombie mug from Trader Sam's in either Disneyland or Disney World. And Google. So if you don't know what an item is, the top 3 are correct, and that 4th thing is not. But it's a jumping off
There's
point.
no excuse.
Then you can start looking up the words that are associated with those pictures and be like, boom, got it.
See, mine's a different way. I don't have that camera thing that you have.
You have
in the Google app.
I took a picture, and then down here is
no, don't take a picture. Open the Google app. It's a separate app. Like any app on your phone. If you don't have the Google app, you'll have to download it. But it's opening a separate app. It's not the browser.
There's a Google app at the top of my thing, right there. Boom, Google.
Oh, Google. Okay. I'll have to play with it.
And then there's the camera right
See
there.
it. That's it.
Bam.
I'll play with
So
it.
everybody that's watching, if you want to download, we could have like a little interactive fun. I have a whole bunch of products here.
I haven't found it. He can teach me.
If people have Google Lens, they'll be able to hold their phone up to the screen live and actually evaluate products. Now, if you use the Chrome browser, Google Lens is built into the Chrome browser. So you can just kind of right click it from like estatesales.net if you see an image there. And I tell you, it just brings the fun back. It feels a lot like, when I got big with Amazon and FBA, it was because 4G had just come out, iPhones and the App Store had just come out, to where now all of a sudden you can call pricing for any item that has a barcode, call it to Amazon, and you can pull back the pricing. And of course, FBA just came out at the same time. All those things together is what made retail arbitrage work. It wasn't like, hey, Jason, did you know you can buy stuff at retail and sell it on? Like, yeah, you can do that. But like, how do you know what to buy? Well, now we have an app that tells you what to buy. It's like, yeah, but I'm not going to buy 75, patio heaters. Like, where am I going to put those things? It's like, yeah, but there's this thing called FBA, which means you send them all to Amazon. And now everybody kind of had that ding, ding, ding. Oh, I get it. I can scan anything. If it's profitable, I'm going to send it to a warehouse. Yeah, okay, I get this, right? But that was because 4G, iPhones, apps, Amazon pricing data, FBA all hit at the same time. And this isn't like a perfect storm in the exact same way, but the fact that you use Google Lens to identify something, if it doesn't have keywords or model numbers or a barcode or anything like that, like, it just makes it so much easier. I mean, like, you could spot this and be like, yeah, that looks interesting and different. And like, you look on the bottom and you put in the keywords and all these things. You could do that, but that takes a lot more time than snapping a picture, right? So I just kind of got back into it, and I've been collecting stuff, and then I was like, you know what, I need to write a book about this, because the reason I wrote my first books was kind of for self-defense. Everybody's asking the same questions over and over again about FBA. Why should I do this? How does it work? What are the fees? So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna write a long PDF, and that was the original plan. Then it turned into a book kind of by accident, and then the book was a success, and everybody thought I was like super hot stuff. So I was like, okay, this is cool. I wouldn't mind writing some more books. And there is so much information out there, and I get a lot of people who come to me not necessarily for FBA, but they're like, I want to make some money on the internet. And I'm like, okay, well, let's talk about that. Like, what are you good at? Like, do you have access to capital? Do you have a budget? Like, what are your goals? Are you trying to make $500 a month? Are you trying to do $1 million a year? Like, all these things, all these answers are needed to kind of point people in the right direction. And flipping, for a lot of people, is the one thing that anybody can do. Like, there's nothing simpler than flipping, right? And I say that as someone who launched a whole course about being an entrepreneur and how to write a book about your passion and make an online course and the whole marketing scheme behind it. Like, you could do all that stuff, but I found a lot of people how they can do it, but they may not have the desire to do it. They may not have necessarily the skill set to do it. They may not realize that they're actually really good at something that other people would find valuable, and kind of take them through that process to help them realize that, yes, you really could help a lot of people. It took too long. It wasn't something that I could do, kind of thing. Like, they had to figure that out for themselves. And a lot of people, I was like, you know what? You should just be flipping. Like, if you want to be a wholesaler on Amazon, you should be flipping to build up your bankroll, while you also study and understand the Amazon terms of service and all these things. Like those are things. It's not just become a wholesaler, right? It's not just launch a private label product. It's not just write your first book. You can do those things, but if you don't know how to do those things yet and you need to make some money, flipping is the easiest, simplest. Anybody can do it. It's really hard to screw it up, especially when things are $1 or $2. If you make a bad buy, like if you make a bad buy in wholesale, you might be in some financial trouble.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, so I was like, I need to write this book. Kind of like, if anybody wants to make money, here's the book. Here's the go-to. It'll teach you how to identify products. It'll kind of explain exactly what you said, Jason, of like, don't say, what I'm going to see 1,000 records. What should I look for? It's like, no, I'm going to see 1,000 records. What should I do? Right? What's the best way to approach this? Should I use Google Lens? Should I be scanning barcodes? Should I be looking for, specific genres and passing over other genres, even if I might miss something, but for the sake of time, I need to, like, if it's Christmas, don't even bother looking it up. And then over time, I found that's what really helps people is they realize, wait a minute, this is all garbage, or not even just garbage, but this is not worth looking up. And then you stop like giving time to things that aren't worth looking at, because 80% of stuff is not going to be worth flipping.
Right.
But if you have to look it up manually, you're going to run out of time. But over time, you'll be like, no, I've seen those before. That looks common. I've seen that everywhere. Wait a minute. I haven't seen this before. Let me take the time to look that up. And it helps people kind of make their own BOLO lists instead of relying on someone to make a BOLO list, right? So instead of saying like, well, which, American Girl dolls are good? Well, I don't know. Get your eBay app out, go to sold listing at American Girl dolls, sort by highest price, and make your own list, right? Like don't download a list from the internet. Like that doesn't make any sense, because there's so many lines, so many brands. Like you can't make a list for, it'd be like it'd be 1,000-page book. But when you run across something,
when you write a 1,000-page book,
you can write a 600-page book, at least through Amazon. That's the max.
Other
for random knowledge that I have.
Part 2.
You could make 2 volumes of a book.
What I love about Chris too is he doesn't just sit down and say, I think I'll write about this. He goes out and tests it and tries it and does it. So it's good information.
And obviously
every example in the book is real.
So what were you scanning that made you think, oh shit, I should do this? Do you remember the item that you were Google imaging and you're like, hey now?
No, it wasn't really like that. It was more like it was last summer where I started doing a lot more yard sailing and just having a great time. And
it's like Debbie, I get pictures every weekend. He goes, look at all this cool stuff at yard sales. I go, you don't say.
I think it's part of that when you have that emotional, like it's something you wouldn't buy normally, but you'd buy it for $1, and now it's your favorite product ever, right? You could have bought it for $200. The fact that you got it for $1 makes it your favorite. It doesn't make any sense, right? It's the same product. Like you could have just bought it, but but I got a deal on it, so now I really, really love it. I don't know. There's just something weird about it. But it was probably a little bit of the Google Lens. I didn't realize Google Lens was built into Chrome for longer than I should. So I was using Google Chrome on my phone through the screen on like images on estatesales.net, and then going to pick things up. And I got so many good deals. And I think part of it was like the deals were just there. And no one else was picking these things up. And it wasn't like they were like mysteries or anything. It wasn't like I was getting there first and like, elbowing other people at estate sales. But I think it's just people look for different things. Some people are, they're focused on clothes or shoes. Definitely records. I don't touch records, right? Because everybody's rushing for the records. And I'm like, I have no interest. I could learn records. But that's what people are fighting for. So I go over and I pick up the Lego kits and I scan the books. The last sale I went to last weekend, 3 different $300 books on like blood cancer and soft tissue tumors. And I saw them on the images on estatesales.net. So I knew where they were in the house. I'm number 17 to go in. I wrote a whole post about being number 17. And there's another book scanner there. And they're just casually scanning. And I just go exactly where the books were because I saw them in the pictures and pull them out. Like it's fun. And it's also like not competitive. Like I'm not having to race and like get all stressed out and all this stuff. And it's really there. And like, this is a real opportunity for a lot of people who are like, if you want to make an extra $500 a month, flipping is got to be the easiest way to do it. And that can be a car payment for a lot of people. That can be like, working on their kids, college tuition and whatever it might be.
Braces.
And you can turn it off. You can turn it on. Oh, braces. Yeah, I got to do another round of that.
See, I felt it.
This reminds me of when the PDA scanners first came out. And I'd have I had to download for my little disc, download the newest information from Amazon, and I could go into library sales and scan. And then everybody got the iPhone. I didn't need that PD anymore. It's on my iPhone. So what you're talking about takes me way back to when that first started. It was so exciting. And everybody else is looking at you like, what are you doing? Well, I paid $800 for the system back then too. And then iPhone. And so it's just exciting to hear what you're saying. And like you said, it's not that complicated if we have the tools, and you're showing us the tools.
Well, plus, think about this. So Debbie, Chris, and myself have been online for a long time. Anybody who's listening who is newish, the shit we went through since the 90s, getting cash in the mail, no pictures at all. Nowadays with this, it's like magic compared to the rigmarole. And then we got pictures. We had to go take them to Walmart or CVS and get them developed, and then scan them, and then host them, and then send the link to it was mind-boggling. And nowadays, life is easy.
But we did it.
We did it.
Yeah, these kids don't know. I think one of the other things I wanted to put in the book was really just give people confidence to help people get over that psych. I feel so many people psych themselves out, and I say that as someone who feels it. I feel it myself every single time. That estate sale that I went to where I got the expensive books, I was like, oh man, I really hope I get those books, because it's gonna be such a perfect example of how I could look at the picture. I was like, oh, I wanted the example almost more than I wanted the books, right? I was like, I really hope I get there. It's so far off the highway, right? It's probably 3 or 4 miles off of the highway. But as I'm exiting, there's all these other cars exiting, and I'm getting there like maybe an hour early, not super early. And I'm thinking, oh, great. All of these cars, they're all going to this estate sale. And I know, I'm like, no, it's too far. There's no way that I'm here at the same time. It's not that big, or it's not that good. It's a good sale, but it's not that good of a sale. But my mind is going down that road of like, no, you got to get there early. All these people are going to be there. All of these scenarios are going through my head. And it's very similar to like my retail arbitrage days, where I would go into a Toys R Us and I would see somebody coming out with a cart or two full of stuff. And I'm like, oh, they must have got all the good stuff. Oh, I'm here just too late. Oh, I bet they know more. I bet they got this. And like, I don't even know if they're another seller. They might just be someone buying tool or toys for their class, or I don't know who they are, but my mind instantly goes spinning of all these reasons why it's not going to work. And like, oh, don't even bother going in. You're not going to find anything. And I know if I not just used to still have those feelings, that other people are going to have them too. Oh, the best stuff's all going to be gone by the time I get to that yard sale. Oh, the first hour on Saturday, that's when all the good stuff is gone. Oh, the thrift stores, they pick all the best stuff and they hold it in the back. Yeah, sometimes, but like, you can't be at every yard sale first. Like, you can be at one yard sale first. You can be that guy, or at an estate sale.
I have a perfect example. A local thrift store, which now is shut down, but they had the whole vintage corner. You had to stand there for 50 minutes to get someone to come and hand you the thing you want to see. It's all the good stuff. I'm digging through this little cage thing with plush. I pull out this little doll, 50 cents. I sold it for $85. Yeah. That thrift store has people selling. They have their own eBay account. Yeah. How did I get that wall and they have an eBay account?
They can't go through everything. Like, right. I'm sure I missed things, right? I'm sure I missed some books. I'm like, I don't ever claim to be like, oh, I got everything out of that sale, right? But like, I am more thorough in the sense of like, I don't like walk through and be like, no, there's nothing here. Like, I will stop and kind of go through slowly. But there's always going to be reasons why there's something there, right? The stuff that I got yesterday, this Disney and Starbucks collection that I got, like they started late. I asked them. They had so much good stuff at like noon. I was like, did you guys sell a lot of other stuff? Like, is this the stuff people left behind? And like, you sold even better stuff? And they're like, no, we got like a really late start today, man. And I was like, great. And like all the clothing was $1, and it was all Disney and hood, like all Disney hoodies, long sleeves, t-shirts, jackets. Speaking of Disney,
the jacket behind Chris, we're going to give away in a few minutes. So don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere.
You have to be live. You have to be here live.
All Chris, $1 each.
When we were hanging out with you and filming Thrift Hunters, the one day Brian and I went to Rhode Island's largest community sale, and it was inside a rec center, and it had 7 tables. And as we walked in and went, uh-oh, because we had planned 4 hours to film there, and it was 7 tables of broken shit. And so I said to the director, I go, hey, when you guys edit this, make sure you do the needle skipping off the record when we walk in, because I said, if this is their biggest community sale, I'd hate to see the smallest.
Oh, wow.
So we had to go garage sailing on the fly, and it was already getting later into the day. and we hit a garage sale with good records, good luggage, clothes. And so we weren't the first of that garage sale, but we found stuff to sell and make it interesting enough to sell it online and make it good for the TV show. So yeah. You know, being first a lot of times is great, but it's not the end of it. There's second, and then there's last. That's where you can get deals too.
I like last. I like second day where they're like they were holding out for a higher price, but now they know they're not going to get it, so they don't want to bring it back in, so they sell it to you cheap. Like there's always reasons why you might be able to find something. Which I just don't want people to psych themselves out, especially if it's just driving to a sale, getting out for 2 seconds and looking around and see if there's something interesting. You know, sometimes there won't be, but sometimes there will be. And the stuff I got yesterday for $200. It was insane. All they had I got 2 pairs of Jordans for $5 each, brand new pair of Doc Martens for $5 each. And that's when I started saying, look, if I just make a big pile, can I you want to do that? And they're like, yeah, so I just kept putting stuff.
How many wants to jump out of bags? Go thrift with Chris right now.
Well, hey, you might show up and we find nothing, right? Like that's the thing. There's no guarantees. And I'm teaching this long enough where I feel like the guarantee is what people are looking for, right? They're like, okay, this sounds cool. Jason says I can make money thrifting, but I went out and I didn't find anything. So what's up, Jason? You said I would. You said I would make money. And the thing is, there's no guarantee.
That's what makes it fun too.
Right, like people want that guarantee, and I think it because they come from a kind of a job kind of mindset. Like, hey, I know that if I go to my job from these hours and I do this,
and you get told do A, do B, do C, do D, at the end of the week we give you a paycheck for that.
Right, guaranteed. Right, if you do these things for this time, it's a guarantee. Doing an eBay business or anything along the lines of entrepreneurship means you are working for yourself for $0 an hour. That's it, right? Like that's the potential, and you might be working towards something. You might fail, you might succeed. It might not go as well as you thought, but setting it up and doing these things means working for yourself for $0 an hour. And I've met so many people who just simply aren't willing to do that because but the guarantee is if you don't go to a yard sale, you won't. If you want the guarantee, that's your guarantee. You won't find anything if you don't go. If you don't go to a thrift store, I guarantee you won't find. I sold that hair laser thing $500. I sold that audio sound thing $600. Both those things, I think it was $12.99 and $9.99. Barcoded products on the shelf. Like I should not be finding these things. I don't go that often, but what I do, and I see something that stands out and has a barcode on it, I'm going to scan it because it's so darn easy. And for the price, I'm like, yeah, of course I'll buy it. I'll test it at home kind of thing. They both work. They both sold. Like if I can do it, you can do it. Those products are out there.
My dad had a doctor's appointment the other day, and when he got there, it was all messed up, and they told me the whole story, and I didn't catch it all. But here's what I caught: the order in his hand didn't match what he was signed up to do, and so they go, "We can't do his appointment today." And they were way on a different side of town than normally on, and so luckily that happened because they hit 2 garage sales, and they both went, "Wait till you see what we found," And so the universe put them there. Although my dad still has to go get this doctor's appointment taken care of, they found some great stuff to flip, and they would not have been in that neighborhood had they not thought he had an appointment that day. So, wherever you go, if you've got that moment, like Stace went out for a walk this morning around the neighborhood, and she goes, man, probably because of the holiday, no one's having a garage sale this morning. No one. But she looked. I mean, she was going out for a walk to get a little exercise, but she goes, I got $20 if I see something, or if it's even more than that, I'll come back with the car,
Yeah.
So we'll tune in next Sunday. My mom claims they have amazing shit to sell. All right. So what's next? So the books, when's the book come out? And then how are you introducing the book to the world?
Yes, I want one.
The book comes out on June 21st on a special launch webinar. I have set up a special link just for you, Jason, theflipgame.com/Jason. There you go. Look, see if we got your face on it.
.net. It's .net.
Flips.net. Oh my God. I don't own flips.com. I wish I did. Flips.
You guys are going to have some weird porn site thanks to Chris Green.
Now, flips.com is available for sale for $500,000. So I'll take flips.net/Jason. You can sign up. You'll get a free copy of the book when it comes out. It's the Kindle version of the book. You'll be able to buy the physical version. The physical version is your thing, but everybody will get the digital version absolutely free during the webinar. The webinar is on June 21st, and there's going to be prizes. There's going to be some big announcements. There's going to be some really fun stuff that we're going to do on that webinar. Webinar is completely free. The Kindle book completely free. just be sure that you sign up at Jason's link, flips.net
Yeah,
/
it's in the chat.
Jason.
Let me run it across a banner here real quick too.
And we'll put it in the thrifting board.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll be having posts up starting this week. Oh, I just sold a CD. All right, cool. So there it is. It's in the chat. So get signed up. It's a free webinar. And
it's gonna be super fun. We're gonna do some demos. We're gonna do some examples. I got so many prizes to give away.
I just sold a $50 CD. And you know what? I used my phone to scan it when I was in somewhere else. I forget where we were. But I wasn't home. I was on traveling with my wife. Used my phone to scan it. They had it for $8. I sold it for $50. That's how easy it is.
Cha-ching.
Nice.
And everybody has a phone. Like if you don't have a phone, I don't have a book for people who don't have a phone.
And it's Insane Clown Posse. And my wife just said ICP. Nice. What time is it, Chris, on that day?
It's 8 p.m. Eastern on the 21st.
The great thing is I'm gonna be gone for like
live.
10 days in June, and I'm just getting back when you're having this. I'm like, oh, thank God. So get signed up. The link is in the chat. There it is. Going across the bottom. But we will be having I'll be posting to the thrifting board and on my personal wall in the Secret Beach. So come hang out with Chris on June 21st. Yes, free, John. Free.
Absolutely free. The Kindle book will be $9.95 on Amazon if people want to buy it. However, if you come to the webinar, you can have it for free. So it's almost like a too good to be true thing. It's like, yeah, but like, is there like, no, there's no catch. Just come and get the free book. Like I'll show you how to find stuff like this, right? Like, should we let people try? People who downloaded Google Lens. Let's see if you can figure, or if you can actually
hold that
Google
right there.
Lens.
I'm going to do it right now.
Through a live webinar on the internet to show how powerful Google Lens is.
Okay, well, it didn't pick up that it picked up as a diver's helmet, but it didn't pick up that one's actually an ice bucket in Chris's hand.
We put the light up a little bit. Maybe that'll help.
Try it again here. Let me get rid of it.
We got this background. If I had a nice clean background, it would probably help.
Is that the one people are finding at Home Goods? It kind of looks like
No. This is an ice bucket, Debbie.
Bucket. Okay.
So this is vintage, and this is something that if you have a tiki bar, most of us love this. My folks have one. I have one. I've sold a couple. I think my folks sold one. And when I was on my buddy Spike's cocktail show, he had just had a guest on that was talking about it, and he had never even heard of it or seen one. And I'm like, dude, we all have them. Now, you ain't going to find it at every thrift store, but Chris shows that it's out there. I've found it 3 times so far in my hunting career. Yep, that is a holy grail. All right, it's a little blown out, Chris. Back it up. Oh, I can see the Jordan now.
I'll turn the lights way up too high.
There we go. Yes, much better. Now we can see it. Let me, oops, hang on. I'm just staring at your shoes. I'm like, oh, I should be taking a picture of them.
Well, I got to give people just a minute to grab a.
Boom! There they are, just like that. There they are. Chris Holden shoes on the East Coast. I'm in Vegas, shooting through this monitor. Boom! Got it.
Perfect.
And these are things you can pick up. They're like, I don't know if they just get rid of their kids' stuff. Like I got 2 pairs of Jordan. I got the blues. I got the whites and the reds. I got. Like I didn't even know this was Disney until I looked it up on the bottom. This is a Disney like monorail.
Can't see it, Chris. It's all blown out.
I don't know. Just give it a minute.
Oh, I just sold another CD. Let's see what that one sold for. Come on, more money. $75. Woo!
Oh,
nice. Dude, you should make a course about selling CDs.
Oh, I should do that. Yeah, so there are plenty of products you can worry about. Fakes. Jordan's one of them. Gucci's one of them. And so there are.
I have that in the. Don't worry, in the Flips game.
Yep.
Or in the Flip game, I show people how to use the Legit Check app. I use it myself.
Nice, Evelyn. Thank you.
I'm in their club. It's $10 a month. You get 1 free Legit Check. You can use it to check clothing. You can use it to check shoes. You send them a lot of detailed pictures. If they need more information, they will ask you for more pictures, and they will give you an authenticity guarantee that if you want to use that to sell on eBay or anywhere else, $10 an item. Now, of course, $10 an item is going to add to your cost, so make sure it makes sense. This right here, this off-white sweater, got it for $1. If it was legit, it'd be over $1,000. But of course, I ran it through the Legit Check app because I certainly don't want to sell something if it's not legit. Unfortunately, it was not legit. It's a really good fake. It is so good. Like I was so sure that it was real. I
Bizarre.
would have been confident it was real, but they were like, no, that the tag is wrong, the text is wrong. So I would not sell it as legit. I'll probably just keep it and wear it as like a soft flex kind of thing. But it's only $1, right? So I mean, that's another thing. It's like, hey, when it's only $1, you can take a chance on it. Would I pay $100 for it without legit checking it? Absolutely not, right? But if you don't know how to do a legit check, there are websites that can do it. You can learn. They have so many guides, so you can learn how to do it yourself. And that's, again, all the things that are taught in the flip game. It's not a bolo list. Like, no, none of that. Like, I'm not going to give you a list of things to buy. Are you kidding? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But I'll teach you how to identify things and give you the kind of the encouragement to not psych yourself out and to realize that anybody can do this. And the things like where you're like, yeah, look for things that stand out. Learn to pay attention to where something like, I can tell this is high quality. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's valuable, but I know it's at least high quality. Because if you only look up things that are high quality, that means you're going to stop looking up things that are cheap crap because they're like, pick it up. And if it's too light, be like, no, I'm not looking this up. There's no way this is valuable.
My God. I had something to Stacy and Savers yesterday. I go, here, just put your hand out. And I go, trust me, it is the lightest thing ever. And it don't look like it should be. And I'm like, oh, that's crap. That is absolute crap. Yeah, eBay has an authenticity program on shoes right now for sure.
And watches?
Yep. Watches, yeah, I think watches too. They're going to be adding more. So speaking of your fake sweater, Chris, I'm at Savers one day, the big one in Tropicana, and I'm talking with all the employees I know, and we're just yucking it up, having a good time. And I got a full cart, and I'm just about done. And the employee goes, oh, did you see the autographed Talking Heads album in the display case? Oh. And I'm like, I didn't. So I looked at it real quick. I said, I'll take it, $15. And then I put it away, and I didn't look at it for like 3 months. I pull it out. They don't even look remotely like their autographs. And I was just so caught with the moment of talking with my friends who work there that I wasn't paying attention. But then I got to thinking, what asshole did this? Like, why?
Who fakes Talking Heads?
But it wasn't even like he tried, or he could be she, tried to make it look right. No, it's like I just wrote David Byrne in my handwriting. And I'm just like, who would do that? Like, why would they do that? And Savers is usually pretty good about stuff like that. They failed. I failed. But it's a good teaching lesson. So look,
it was only $15. So
yeah, look, I'm the shit when it comes to music, but I screwed up. I did not fully pay attention. And I didn't check it quick enough too. You know, I could have come back and within a week and go, you guys got, this ain't right. And I probably could have because I know everybody there. But 3 months, I'm like, I'm not going to be that asshole. I'm not coming down and saying, give me my money back.
Yeah, you made a mistake. No big deal.
All right, should we give away a bitchin' jean jacket since we've had all these people tuned in and hanging out with us?
I wish people could like really see and feel this because, like, I know what a jean jacket feels like. This is a really nice one. This
is it lined? Is it lined?
It's not lined, no, but it's just smooth and it's just. If you had two different jean jackets, you'd be like, yeah, this is the better one. This is the high quality version.
There's Walt Disney World on the front there, 1971 on the sleeve.
Cool. And the best thing, someone's going to get it for free.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question. As always, it'll be whoever I see type it first. So just because you see you first doesn't mean I see you first. So just remember that. And what size is that jacket, Chris?
This is an extra large, and this is all embroidered on the back. It's not like a sticker or anything like that, or a patch.
So it's an awesome jacket. And Chris, thank you very much, A, for being on, and B, for giving away this kick-ass jacket. Yes. Now, the person who wins it, what can they do with that jacket, Chris?
They can keep it, or they can flip it.
Oh, they can flip it because it's the flip game. Oops.
It sounds like a talk show. I mean, a game show. Are you going to flip it or are you going to keep it?
It's the flip game. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, Chris,
I don't know if this is reversible. It's like black on the inside here.
Ooh.
That's just the embroidery.
Yeah.
When I first heard about this, I'm like, do I really need this? I've been doing this since 2002, but I think I really need it. One tip.
I do get that question a lot about the book. Like, is the book just for newbies? And if you're a newbie, it's absolutely for you. It'll get you up and running. But even if you're an experienced flipper and you've been reselling for a while, I guarantee you're going to learn something new that's going to put one more item in your cart or one more item in your eBay store. It's going to make you some money.
Even the webinars I teach in the Secret Beach, I want everyone to tune in because, you might be really good at this, but I guarantee you there's going to be some nugget I gave you that you're like, oh, shoot, I didn't even think of that,
Yes.
And even when I'm prepping webinars, I've got my 80% I know I'm going to teach. And then I kind of work some other things out. And then I go, oh, I didn't know that. So as I'm prepping webinars, I'm learning stuff too. So you should be learning every day. If you
Yes.
stop learning, you're going to get stagnant. All right, here we go. Here's the question. First person to type it. So Deb, you keep an eye. I'll keep an eye, and I'll even take a screenshot to make sure everyone knows we're above board.
Me too.
Since it's Mickey Mouse, what's his birthday? Full birthday. Don't give me no half stuff. What's Mickey Mouse's birthday? So either you know it or you're the fastest Googler.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think everybody's Googling because I'm not seeing nothing.
Yep.
I don't know it.
Me neither.
I didn't think this would be something that was on the top of people's heads all the time. So that's why I'm like, let's go with his birthday.
Okay, I'm getting some pictures. I don't know if they're right answers, but I'm just taking pictures.
I think people are guessing.
All right, Doug, I said full thing. You can't just go with the date. Sorry, buddy. You would have had it, but instead, Susan Sanders with the bonus Q is our winner.
Woohoo! Congratulations, Susan.
November 18th, 1928 is when Steamboat Willie debuted. So now they have made that Mickey's birthday. And so he's an old man.
Very old. Yes.
So congrats, Susan. Do me a favor, send me a message, and I will get the address over to Chris, and we'll get it out to you. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. Chris, thank you very much for giving that out, and that is awesome.
Well, I know a lot of people were guessing. They had to go over to Google and come back. I see all the numbers come in really quick. I mean, I got 2 more Disney items here. If you want to give it.
All right,
I
can whip up 2 more questions in here. I'll take a quick screenshot. You know, every once in a while people go, I don't think you're right. So I got a screenshot of when the numbers started coming in. So,
And I have a bunch of photos too. I should Google Lens them and see what I come up with.
So, Jason, I pulled this one out because I thought this was another really nice one. This is doesn't say Disney Park, just Disney. It is size extra large. It's pink. I know you guys can't really tell, but this is the puffy poof letters. So it's got that 3D feel to it on the chest and on the arms. Maybe the arms, you'll be able to see it come through. Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, that's real popular right now, that puffy.
all right.
I mean, no tags, but it feels brand new. It doesn't feel like it's even been worn.
Pink. I love it.
All right. I got a good question.
It is pink. And since we're going to give this other one away, you want like this is like the ladies only version. I don't know. Like if the guys can win it, but like sometimes people just try to win just to win. Like, well, I guess you can flip it. You don't have to keep it. You can totally flip it. So everybody can get this because you can totally flip this. I would guess you get 40, 50 bucks
likes
for this.
to wear pink.
So do I. All right. So
He wants to meet her someday. Him? Who's him? You are my guy, Bill. 43 years.
all right. I'm gonna do this question with a picture to ask you. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, please. I like this one. I'm gonna show you a character, and I want their full name. Realize I said full name.
First
Full
and
name.
last.
That's all I'm gonna say is full name.
Full name.
All right. Oops. Did I hit the picture? Where to go? All right. Open image in new tab. Speaking of Google Images. All right. Ready? Let me make sure I'm ready and go.
Oh, I'd have to look that up.
I think most people will. So that's why I've tried to pick things that.
I can tell everybody's Googling.
Yeah.
There's some names coming in. I don't know the answer though.
Yep, that's the answer. Goofy Goof. Now
Wow.
talk about what happened to the creativity. Goofy Goof is his full name. Come on, Disney. Goofy Goof. Come on. What?
GG, Goofy Goof.
Yeah. So JR Haggy 1, hit me up with a message, and I will get the address over to Chris.
Congratulations.
Keep it or
Rover.
flip it.
Goofy Goof. Come on, that's like the poor kid who won American Idol, Philip Phillips. Your parents just hate you. Like what?
It was easy to remember how to spell it. Just had to a little bit more.
Hi, I'm
Jason. This isn't that old, but I found the same place that had all the Disney stuff had this Big Papa, Biggie Smalls shirt too.
They like to call me Big Papa.
He was originally Dippy Dog. I guess.
All right, Chris, we got one more there.
One more. I'm pretty sure this is an extra large. This is, it says Disney Mickey Mouse on the tag. And I used Google Lens on this. I could not find this exact image.
Oh, that's kind of a cool image.
Cool, kind of psychedelic look to it.
All right, I got one more question. It's going to be a little easier. And I will tell you, spelling will count.
Okay.
Are you guys ready? Are your fingers ready? Because I know a lot of you will know this answer. So I'm telling you right now, this will not be one where you have time to Google.
I got my camera ready.
Counts. In Batu, there is a place to get cocktails. What's it called? And that is both at Disneyland and Walt Disney World. What is the place you can get cocktails in Batu? I've had many cocktails there. So if you follow me on Facebook, you've seen me drink there.
Everybody's Googling.
I'm surprised because I know people in the chat right now that go to Disney quite a bit. Okay, well, you can't win twice, JR Haggy won. So you're out.
Well, you should have said that first.
Yeah, and I might disqualify you from your other prize now too. Yes. No. Anytime you've won something, you don't get to win a second thing. Yeah.
It's hard not to want to win though.
Yeah, I know. And that is our winner, Oga's Cantina. And the reason I said spelling counts is I can't tell you how many times I've seen people write Olga like it's a Russian bar. No, it's not Olga. It is Oga. There is no L in Oga.
Well, Annette, you can keep it or...
So hit me up, Annette. Give me your address, and I'll get it right over to Chris. All right. So don't forget, mark your calendar for June 21st. Free webinar. And I'll be there hanging out, learning right along with you guys.
Me too.
Hopefully I'll be more healthy for that.
You sound better.
Yeah, get better.
I feel like crap right now. But there's the link again. So hit that link. But there will be posts in the thrifting board on my wall in the Secret Beach coming up in the weeks leading up to it to make sure everyone gets signed up. And we can all hang out in one big, happy, flipping family.
You're a big webinar.
You're my flipping family. You're my flipping family. And yes, Chris, thank you very much for the giveaways. Drinks on me next time we're together.
Deal. We got to do that. I don't think I've been to Vegas since COVID.
I know.
Like since COVID is like this dividing line of like before and after time frames for so many things. Yep.
And I'm heading out east in a couple of weeks, but I'm gonna be deep in New Jersey. So
ooh, I don't like Jersey.
Yeah. So if you want a road trip,
if you get in a jam, if you're in trouble,
like, I will call you.
Yeah, I'll come down blazing.
All right, everybody, get signed up. We'll see you on the 21st. Don't forget Secret Beach. We got Tuesday and Wednesday webinars this week, and then Mom Show a week from today, and then we'll watch the auction and the following Thursday. So all kinds of good stuff coming up to help you all be a more well-rounded online retailer.
That sounds fun. I want to watch that.
I will let you know, Lisa. I can't tell everybody. Then everyone will want to show up and hang out. I got limited time because I'm speaking at a gig. So
he's a working man.
Yeah, I got stuff I got to do, but I got a little downtime. So
Chris, try to keep us up on what you find. You know, when you go out there, because I've seen some of the pictures. I'm like, I'm still the Nerf baseball. Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm so far behind. I have so many pictures of things that I could share. I mean, just buckets of them. I mean, I could go. This is a limited edition up pin. This is a pin. It's humongous.
Oh wow!
It's limited edition to 1,000, and they sell for like $200 to $300. And this was in this 10-pound bag of premium pins. This at the store, at the retail store, I believe, was $65. It still has the price tag on here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
How much did you pay?
I paid $200 for a truckload of Disney, Starbucks, everything. That is the clothing. I got the Christmas train. It's humongous. It's never been opened.
You just have the magnet, the draw. You're just lucky.
I am lucky, but I also go, and I would have gone to that sale even if I got nothing.
Yes.
Right. But like, that's part of it. It's just that having that confidence. It's not necessarily confidence. It's overcoming that, you know what, you might not find anything, so you should just go home. Like, I don't know if everybody has that, but I still haven't, even though I have example after example after example of score after score after score. And I try to tell people I'm not special, but I go.
Well,
I'll take the
you are
time.
special.
Yes, you are very special.
I'll scan barcodes. I'll sit on the floor of a thrift store and scan books, which is something that a lot of people are not willing to do.
Yeah, it's a getting back up the time, but also being aware. We are so sad. Bill and I, we didn't see garage sales. Around the corner was an estate sale for a couple weekends. Their mom was a hoarder, QVC type hoarder. We didn't find out until at the very end. We happened to drive. I told Bill, let's drive through the neighborhood, see what's going on. Oh my gosh. I found these, that exercise guy, Richard Simmons, made these dolls. Yes, I never heard of these dolls before. And one of them I sold for $100. What did I miss over those 5 or 6 weeks? Because I didn't check my neighborhood right around the corner.
Don't beat yourself up. Just be like, you know what? Give it that confidence to be like, hey, remember that time we didn't go for the first 2 weeks and we still found stuff?
Yes.
Like, that's what you have to remember. You can't look back and be like, oh, remember how we were late? Like, no, you got to find the positive. The brain will sometimes do the negative, and you have to overcome it. You have to say, like, no, like, yeah, I remember missing out on that. Like Jason, we got all those shirts that I got, all the concert shirts. When I checked out, I still think of this for no good reason. They said, oh, yeah, some people already bought some earlier in the day.
What'd you miss?
I'm like, what did I miss? As if, how about you just be happy with what you got instead of wondering what you didn't?
That's right.
But you have to overcome it in your own head. Like, I should not still be thinking that. But if it happens to me, it happens to other people. And I just want people to, like, do what they can to overcome this and have that. It's not the confidence thing. It's just the excitement to be like, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to find, but I'm going to go anyway. And that's how you put yourself in the position to get lucky. That's how you put yourself in the right place at the right time. Because if you do that enough, you're going to be in the right place at the right time. But if you do that enough, you're also not going to find something sometimes. And you got to be okay with that.
And that's what keeps it exciting.
Hopefully my book helps people with that.
Yep. June 21st. Get signed up. We'll see you there, and then we'll see you back here with Mom next Sunday. And with that, I say thank you, Chris. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Chris. This was great. We'll
see you all around the thrifting board. Bye, everybody. Have a good evening. Give us a big old
thumbs up. Don't hang up. Stay here. I always forget to tell people. Stay.